I am the bare minimum of a person. I like to tell people that I'm the bare minimum. The reason I tell people that I'm the bare minimum is because I think my bare minimum is different. See, the bar is so low. The bar is deep. Low, 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 low. The bar is deep in the confines of HE double hockey sticks. Satan is doing pull-ups with the bar, and he is having a bad time because the men have put the bar deeply in the low aspects of it. In the instance I say one thing poetic or romantic or something that is semantics to somebody, they think to themselves, wow, he's so different. He's so strange. He's so queer, one might say. And I say to myself, no, I'm not. I'm the bare minimum. I'm the lowest level you could possibly get from another person. I tell you this because I want you, among all things in this reality, to become a better version of yourself and seek better out of relationships. So many of my people around me, so many of my friends will often tell me, hey, well, if this is the bare minimum, how do you treat your partner in a relationship? Much better than I treat everybody on the planet. Because that's what it takes. It takes all my effort to love another person. It takes all my effort to be a part of that person's soul. It takes all my effort to be there for another human soul. Because their mental stressors and their specific minutia is very important to me. I love that about them. I love every aspect of loving a person. And my friends, I'm giving. I have to be giving towards my friends because they're my friends. They're people I decided to keep in my life. I consider some of my friends more important than my own family because I didn't get to choose my family. My family can abuse me and traumatize me and mess me up, and they have my entire life. They think I'll come back to them because by virtue we share the same blood, but that's not true. You can't abuse and destroy and annihilate a child most of their entire life hold and expect them to still stick around. That's not how it works. You have to treat your children with respect. They're still people. They're little people, and they see new experiences. You can't get angry at them. You can't get mad at them. You can't do that. But I give the bare minimum. My bare minimum is the minimum amount of effort that it takes me to love a person. That means gift giving, remembering their birthdays, checking up on them at least once a week. That means making sure I hang out with them. That means making sure I get them food if they're hungry. That means making sure they have a place to stay if they have a horrifying event happen in their life. Even if I can't do it, I will do it because that is the bare minimum for me. I have to be kind even when I can't. That is bare minimum to me. Very important to do so. A lot of people can't do that. They don't have it in their soul. They don't have it in their body. And that's important. That's very important. My standards are different than most people's, and I grasp that. But I'm telling my friends all the time, if you can't get somebody as good as the way I would treat you as a friend, then they're not worth your time because time is the only currency you don't get back. There's no other currency on this planet that you can, it's just time. It's just time. You can get effort back. You can get money back. You can get love back. You really can. Time is going to keep going forward, and every day and every second we're getting closer to that meteor that's coming down. And it takes us out all one by one, and we're all going to have it happen. And it's called death. And sleep is just fun death rehearsal. It happens all the time to each and every one of us. The mortality is something that we have to covet deeply inside of our souls. If we don't covet our mortality, we lose the core aspect of what makes us people. And I refuse to do that. I refuse to do that at all. I want people to understand what they are and how they operate. And that's something important to me. I love people. I will always love people. I will be a people lover to the day that I die. I will love you no matter how much you dislike yourself. I will be a piece of you and a part of you to the end of time, no matter how deep and intimate you hate yourself or how much you ridicule yourself in every capacity. I will be a piece and part of you because I am going to do my best to bring the best out of you when you see the worst in yourself. That is how I treat my friends. If they reach out to me with any issue, no matter what it is, no matter what I'm going through, I will be there to help because their effort of being my friend and being around with me when I don't think highly of myself all the time and still sticking around to see the journey that I become is so important and peaceful to me. And that's why my bare minimum, the standard, should be most of my effort. That is how I feel. It's disgusting to me when I see one of my friends go through something so disrespectful, so insane, seeing somebody yell at them. I don't yell. I don't get loud with people. I don't get that angry. I get what I am. I get what I receive. For instance, if somebody were to get loud and yell, why would you do that? My friend yesterday, they came over and said, if somebody is mean, you could be mean back to them. I said, you can't do that. If somebody punches you, what do you do? And they said, well, you punch them back. I said, no. Somebody punches you, you call the cops. And they said, right. I said, yeah. You don't have to be mean back. Because now you're fighting fire with fire. You're fueling their flame. You're giving them more reason to dislike you. And they say, oh, you're right. Okay. And they said, well, it's a defense mechanism. It's a defense mechanism. And I said, it is a defense mechanism. It's a bad defense mechanism. A gun is the defense mechanism. A sword is a defense mechanism. Punching back using mean words. If someone is insulting you, getting under your skin, saying mean words to you, you don't say mean words back. That's what children do. That's what childs do. You don't do that. You don't continue the anger and continue the hateful. That's a negative feedback loop. You don't do that to yourself. It's so gross to see that. It's disgusting to see that happen all the time. I am not trying to compete with people. I am trying to be a standard syllabus for how a human should function that is kind, even when they can't. I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to get mad at you. I'm not going to judge you because you went back to your ex. I'm not going to judge you because you went back on that drug that you were addicted to. I'm not going to judge you for anything. I'm going to tell you, I thank you for sharing this deep vulnerability with me. Your vulnerability is not a weakness, but it is a vulnerability, and I'm happy you shared it with me, and I'm happy you feel comfortable sharing this with me. I'm going to do my best to do what you want to do to make you get to the best next step. In the moment of your deepest, darkest loneliness, tell me what you want. Because when you're at your wit's end, you will tell me what you want the most. You will tell me when you've reached rock bottom and you can't dig any deeper. You will tell me, I need a rope. And I will toss that rope to you and drag you out of that well. That is exactly what I will do. Each and every time, because you are important to me. No matter what it is. I don't have anger in my soul. I don't have pettiness in my soul. Not anymore. I used to. I used to be horrible. I used to put termites in people's houses. I used to annihilate people. I used to lay with people's dads. I used to lay with people's granddads when they messed me up. I used to go on Grindr and try to find people. I used to mess up lives so deeply. But what did that get me? It got me a few interesting stories and a lot of enemies. That's it. And those enemies have the right, they have the will to harm me as much as they want to, but they have decided not to. They have decided to sit at the table and break bread with me. And those enemies that are now my friends, those people that used to hate me and now see that I've become better as a person, that is kindness. That is not goodness. Good and evil to me are too subjective. I need objective reality. Kindness is objective. Kindness is something that exists in the souls of every man, child. It exists in every animal. It exists when you think it doesn't. That is kindness to me. And I love that deeply. An eye for an eye would make the whole world go blind. I don't see why people would get angry at somebody else. It's a simple thing. I'm not even Christian, and I love that Christian talking. I love that. I love that saying. It's important to me. It's important because it means something. It means something deeper than what you can think it is. And I love the fact that we can have these conversations and talk at the table and break bread. That's important to me. So when I say I give the bare minimum, the minimum a bear would do, I give the bare minimum. This is why women choose the bear over the man. The minimum a bear would do would put you out of your misery. And I'm not going to attack you. I'm not going to assault you. I'm not going to insult you or say any words. I will simply put you out of the misery you are currently going through while keeping you alive. That is the minimum a bear would do, simply by virtue of that is the bare minimum. Stopping the sadness within your soul. That is important. And that's how I operate as a person. And that's how I choose to operate. Even if it hurts me. Even if it destroys me. Even if it breaks me down to the most simple molecular parts of my entire body. I will do this even when I can't, because it is important to me. Thank you, and have a good day.